All right, I want to go over some very important strategies when it comes to getting ready for the KBO slates on DraftKings the night before and the morning of. You can go here and set up a free account. You don't have to place any bets or anything, so that's all I use it for. There's no balance here or anything like that, just to know. But when you go to set up a sports betting sports book, you can look for this URL. It's basically sports betting sports book. I believe you do a Google search and get in on this. Right now, it's not showing the KBO lines, but I believe it would be under baseball whenever it comes up here because it is about 1 o'clock Eastern time. So it has been there every day that I've checked. And as an example here, pulling it up in the WFF Discord, it showed here that that particular day, the line of over under of 10, which is great to work with for SK and the K1 Heroes, was good to stack for that day. And it changed from the night to the morning last night, I noticed as well. However, I did not put it up on the Discord. I will do so if I remember, hopefully, for the night and for the morning to show any differences in line changes, because that's when you're going to get them the hours following and leading up to the early AM, at least on the Eastern time zone, well, pretty late at night in the West Coast if you play out there for the KBO South Korea League, because that's the time, as I mentioned, leading up to the opening pitch on these games. So those lines can change drastically. I saw them all go up from about 9.5 to up really, really from 8.5 up to all going up over 10. And one particular game last night was at 11 over under. So look out and watch and to try to utilize those players in your lineups. And that was successful last night. Also, on the subject of last night, looking at what happened was I did post in there three different lineups, one a 50-50 type, 50% payout, and the other two were based on hoping to cash in GPPs, in which one out of the two cashed in a large field GPPs. It was like a 10 cent one that you can enter, so you can play around with if you want, and that was cool because you cash in 40 cents out of 10 cents, so that's fine. You could upscale that a bit, and then the other one did not cash in. I noticed in that large GBP, the 10 cent one, but however did do well, and it cashed as a higher. Just trying to put it up here to see it. Score in a 1/3. Trying to get you there. Here we go. Even though was unfortunately on the top of my list did not work out. There's a lot of volatility when it comes to pitchers. So that is part of the dilemma here, working this into and going through the day. This is second out of 50, by the way, for this 50-50 right here to the left. And as I mentioned, the two GPPs lineups at least cashed in a 1/3 payout. So right here, when you look at the dilemma for the day, as an overview, real quick for what's happening for Friday the 22nd, that early morning um, first pitch. When you look at these guys, what I look for first of all is I just ordered up by in terms of fantasy points per game for each pitcher, and then I look at which ones are going against each other in the matchup, which one may lose the 4-point win on DraftKings, and that's including Han and NCD. So these guys towards the top, Sappold and Kim, they are likely to kind of, especially I would say Sappold possibly uh, negate himself by playing a good matchup on the road with NCD. So he's really a dangerous pick there in this dilemma with these two guys playing each other. The other option, Kim for the SK Wyverns versus the Kia Tigers. These two also kind of cancel each other out as either one probably Kia may be favored because they're a better team this year and they are hot, put up a lot of runs last night. But these two pitchers also averaging more fantasy points per game, as you notice here, is not a lot, but um, there's high volatility, as I mentioned, and the way I won the other GPPs was just putting other guys in there towards the bottom of my list in my pitcher rankings, which is up on the wealthyfantasyfootball.com site in the KBO area. That there are different various pitchers to rank and put out there. So just having the pitchers and the ones to attack is not enough, obviously, to win your contest um, day in and day out. So you need to have as many consistent hitters with some upside in your lineups as much as possible. So, focus on doing that. When you take a look over here at the schedule for uh, tomorrow's games, just for a moment, we do have a different set of teams playing each other. It's not the same matchups. We're going into new matchups, different ones, as opposed to last night. They were playing series against each other, so now we're starting out fresh with different team matchups. And as an overview here, I see as well that there are a couple foreign players such as Odorismer Despain and Ben Lively, which makes it interesting in the lineups for today, as well as Brigham, Jake for the Heroes. So we can look at those guys more so, more probably for today. But we'll see what the value really is. We have a lot of sorting out still yet to do, but that's just a brief overview as to what to expect. Um, and I will have the actual value-based point per dollar, what it costs. The lower the dollar, the more value you'll get out of a pitcher, as it's very likely to be not be in this order, not only in terms of salary and points per game, but also in terms of, as I mentioned, these top four guys causing that dilemma for you, kind of where they're facing each other, and you know, leading to two out of the four guys not getting the 4-point win, which you want to try to get and solidify, especially in 50-50 type head-to-head matchups, so you can get rolling on those and win those, so that you can have enough, uh, flow to be able to win some tournaments and increase your value in your own player lineups. So the lineups will be there. Just look to wealthyfantasyfootball.com, click on a link in the description of this video, and then get over there and click on once again in the link inside there into the WFF or Wealthy Fantasy Football Discord, so you can see what's going on the night before compared to the morning and any adjustments made. The projected lineups come up the night before and then they're finalized for the morning of, so I can get you three out and also talk through anything out that you want to work into and get going, and also provide like a rundown of cash plays as far as the hitters are concerned as well. Those are very important as these volatile pitchers, working them into your lineups, even though it's not a ton of home runs on slate like these, like with MLB, you get a lot of consistent players though that are giving you, singles, doubles, and giving you some other hits and peripheral stats. So we need those type of guys in the lineups, and that's what I'm breaking down for you. Everything that goes into daily getting better at these KBOs, as we all have to do, especially with the pitchers and evaluating them and trying to get the most value bang for the buck out of the guys and what they're potentially looking to score. For example, here, just to wrap this up, when you look at any one of these pitchers for tomorrow, let's say Casey Kelly, and you look at his stats there overall for the year, not sure if he had anything. Yes, he did have a 2019 as he started 29 games. You can see 180 pitches. So you need to know how to break all these stats down exactly and kind of how to accumulate a projected point total. Mines have been kind of high as far as, obviously expecting too much. So I have been deducting for various things in my projections, my WFF projections to see, what to base that off of to try to get my point per dollar value. Remembering trying to get the lower point per dollar value so we can get more hitters into our lineup. So that's what we'll also try to do and accomplish here throughout the day in research. So you can be prepared, projected for the best lineups the night before, and then make adjustments as to the starting lineups confirmed in the morning. And we'll be going over and tracking all these things throughout the day and everything. So this is the video here for the day as a brief overview and review from the the morning slate finishing out, and then we'll see you there, talk to you on the inside there. Have a great day.